Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupine Bhumne Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnanagamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetat Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetat Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, maybe today we are to discuss about our Poornashram, Dakshinkhanda, and next day we will start with the Taittiriya Upanishad wherever we have left. Now the first thing is that many people are asking that we don't have anybody in our Delhi center to conduct the programs there properly. We don't have anybody in our Jamshedpur center. We don't have enough people in our this Narayana Tapovanam to conduct all our activities properly. Then why open another center in a remote village? Now, first of all, when people ask like that, we have nothing to say to defend or anything, because we don't go by such analysis and then do something. We function naturally. But when we do it, then we come to know that why it was necessary. Many of the mega programs our Poojya Swamiji had conceived of, I myself have opposed left and right in the beginning, that because I am not given to very big programs. But when we course through it, we find that by conducting the program and people participating in the program, it definitely brings in a transformation in personality and in the society. Well, such a huge society, we cannot measure these changes easily. But when we look at our country, we find that the spiritual heritage was carried on only by very few people who were fully given to this life compared to our total population in our country. But they are the responsible people they are the people responsible for holding the heritage and adding timely pearls to it so that it remains vibrant in each era. And that is how, even not knowing how many thousands of years have passed since this Upanishadic knowledge had arrived in our country, it is unknown because it is prehistoric. We cannot say how many years. But this heritage has been continuing in our country only because of some few people who took this discovery and propagation of the ultimate truth and a life based on that truth as their lives, call it whatever, the profession or anything, that's their life's only work. They have not done anything else in life. When they understood the value of this knowledge and the value of this knowledge in keeping the society bound together, keeping the society on the track of auspicious path, on the track of auspicious goal, when they understood that, they dedicated their life to this pursuit for their own realization and then the dissemination of what they have realized. Only for these few people this culture is even now as living as it was earlier. Earlier it was restricted to few, it was not easily available. But now, at least because of our technology, even otherwise also, this culture is widely available, although that takes to a devaluation of the culture also. The real essence of this pursuit is perhaps not much understood in various cases. That said, we also understand that it has a great role to play in the present work-oriented society where people are losing their mind, losing their intelligence, being slave to property, money and fame, and finally losing their own mental qualities, giving work more prominence in their life. To set right this disbalance, nothing can be more efficient than this knowledge. The great misunderstanding which has crept in our society for a long time, that this knowledge has to be pursued only after retirement, when you don't have anything else to do and you don't have to look after your grandchildren also, then only you should take to this knowledge. It is not at all like that, it is just the reverse. Earlier in life this knowledge is taken with full seriousness, the more will be the benefit. We can say it with full responsibility and confidence, because we have pursued this knowledge at a young age and we have seen the benefit of it in our professional life, our academic life, in our social life and everywhere. So, unless we say it, who will say? So this is the knowledge which has been preserved by very few people in our country, and once we know that, it is those who have understood the value of this knowledge, of this spiritual life, of this pursuit, They feel it is their duty to do whatever is necessary to keep it, to sustain it, to propagate it, to enhance its glory and brilliance. Spread it all over the world, not only in India, but all over the world. So, in that process, particularly in the modern era, this knowledge does not remain so personal. Earlier, suppose the kings used to have it, we read from the Puranas. Now, any householder or king, when he no longer is having lot of desires or so, used to go to the saint in the hermitage of some knower saint, and remaining with him used to get the knowledge. It was in a person-to-person delivery, person-to-person interactions. But now, given the effect of this knowledge on the society, just personal interactions and remaining in the personal field and writing only books, when people will read, they will be illumined, it may not be that efficient. So, the institutions which Swamiji has named generally as CIRD, Center for Inner Resources Development, these are all meant for making people look inward and discover their inner treasure and depend on them, rely on them, and utilize that treasure to make their life fulfilled as well as the society enlightened. So, as such, the society, compared to what it was about 30-40 years, not 30-40, even 20 years ago, it was not so much pulling our mind, distracting our mind, pulling our mind to all the worldly attractions, repulsions and all. It was not causing so much of agitation as it does now. So, the centers which are disseminating this spiritual knowledge or inner treasure, they will work as the hub who will try to bring back the society on the auspicious path, auspicious track. So there are forces of the modern, many attractions and wayward life and whatnot, pulling us from our inmost level outward, losing our own central focus, losing our own real identity. As these forces work, we will call it the centrifugal forces. They take us away from the center, constantly taking us away from the center. The spiritual centers are supposed to generate the centripetal force, to bring the society back to their own inward truth, back to their inward treasure. So, when we think in that manner, even if the center does not function fully, or it functions only 3 months a year or so, or 1 month a year even, we can understand the value of what is being done by ashrams and centers. So we are dedicated to enhance the Brahma Vidya activities and to propagate, disseminate Brahma Vidya to the last drop of our life forces. As much as we can do, that is our only work. Now, in that process, somewhere some center comes up. It is because of the devotees coming up there. Mahatma does not make an ashram and then decides that here devotees will come like that. As he radiates his aura around, people from all over the world will come, be around him. They have to be looked after, they have to be hosted. So the ashram actually grows around the Mahatma. And not only that, the people who come, when they come there, then only the occasion arises where the interpersonal interactions of the devotees, they start transforming their life, purifying their mind and intelligence, broadening their mind, broadening their ideas. It is just by listening to some lecture or reading some book, it will not happen. It doesn't happen. Only when, suppose an ashram is put and people come together to do some program even. In the program we will find how silly our ego is and how in small matters our Himalayan ego comes and obstructs a proper deliberation of the duties. Even in making small decisions, how our ego hinders to arrive at a proper enlightened decision. It becomes apparent only when we work with the people. So suppose, as I am saying, while making Poornashram, we may not have thought about so much. Maybe we thought, now we know. But normally we would not have thought about. But when the programs are taking place, the ashram is being made, the ashram is being run, then we find that it is altogether a new crucible for the people who come around, crucible for their development. In the crucible, in making glass, what do? In my research days, I used to make glass. There are powders, various powders are used. They are all opaque. When we mix them in the matrix, then also they are opaque. But mixing them and taking them through a particular temperature process, finally you get the clear transparent glass shining like the crystal. There also, if things go wrong, then you won't get it. So it is a very slow, careful process which has to be applied to make them harmonious. All the different kinds of powders, they join together, they are mixed together, and through the process of heating and cooling, finally they become shining crystals or glass, transparent glass. Exactly the same thing happens. The spirituality, the final goal of spirituality is transparence. It is our ego, our sangha, our possessiveness, our preference and prejudice, which is making our inner Vyaktitva, making our inner personality opaque. That personality has to be made transparent. This transparency comes through removing these egoistic elements, sangha, possessiveness, likes and dislikes, pride and whatnot. All these things, as they are taken away, the inner personality becomes like a shining glass, the transparent like a glass. So this takes place only when we are interacting, and in interactions we cannot have so much of control that always we will behave with a nice posture and we will never fight with anybody. Fighting will come, quarrels will come, wrong behaviors will come, we don't mind. Whenever in the ashram we have found that suppose one devotee is not able to bear the behavior of another devotee, generally we say that how is Swamiji accepting all? You have just come and you are not able to bear the other person. And Swamiji has been living with that person for so many years. Should we not at least think that how is it possible and try to be like Swamiji there also? So, this, after instituting one after another, like the centers in Malaysia, Delhi, Jamshedpur. This law of nature, I would say, it's just like the other laws of nature. This law of nature, of spiritual growth of individual as well as the society, we have been able to see and understand and analyze and realize. So that was also apparent whenever we think of, suppose we are thinking of opening a center in a very remote village. There also the thought will be, it is the culture of India was actually carried in the villages. Even this Dakshinkhanda and all, Navadvip and all those places. These were the places of great scholarly people. Now here you may think that why am I saying a center in any remote village? That part I am coming later, that there is enough reason why we put up a center in Dakshinkhanda, remote village, because it is our Baba's abode, and that I will cover later. But in any village also, in these villages, when we go around, near Dakshinkhanda, just the next village, it is called Bahran, there is that was the birthplace of Krishnadas Kaviraj, who has written the life, the poetic, in a poetical rendition, huge book, a life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is even now quoted by many people, and particularly it was repeatedly quoted by Baba in instructing us in our sadhana. It is called Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is some sort of old Bengali, not Sanskrit, but it has incalculable treasure in it. And that writer was staying just close to Dakshinkhanda. People say that even that Puthi, the original manuscript, was available somewhere nearby. Some say it has been stolen, some say something happened, that I don't know. But the place is known for that. Navadvip was a place where there were many great scholars whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had defeated or got education from also. So our villages in our country, they were the adhara of scholarliness and particularly this culture. Why? Because this spiritual culture is automatically connected to a very simple life, simplicity of life. So that they are not attracted by the ornamented things, ornaments and all, and their minds will not be distracted by vagaries of the world. So simplicity is related to this also, which was available in the villages. So in our doing anything for the country or for the world, we cannot neglect the villages. The real culture has been carried in the villages through the scholarly people, through the dedicated devotees, seekers, sannyasins, non-sannyasins, everybody. That is true of many places. Even I have gone near Devghar and all, where I have seen many people like that. Very erudite and dedicated. Throughout the life, they were like sannyasins only. Some of them may not be sannyasins. Maybe putting on a dhoti and just an uttariyam, but seeing them, their lifestyle, they're so austere that throughout life they have been living like that. Only pursuing knowledge, and sometimes writing about whatever they have known. So, in our mind it never comes up that, oh, it's a remote village, why should we go for a center there, and who will look after that? We will not be able to go. Who will look after, who will not look after, what will happen to that? All that will come in its own manner as time progresses. We cannot see from beforehand. We only rely on the providential flow. See, if we ask you, any of you, if you think about your life, how many things you wanted to do in life you have been able to do, or it has happened? Can you look into it and find out? In most of the cases, you will find that the most of the things you thought that you will do, it has not been done. Something else has been done. So there is a providential flow. And that providential flow will take us to the ultimate goal if we have the goodness and the freedom of mind, the mind not corrupted by greed and desires and all. Then we can simply flow with this providential flow, and the providence will take wherever we have to go. We don't have to analyze what will happen, how will you do it. We never thought that we will spend so much of time in Dakshinkhanda. We thought that we will only inaugurate the center and come back, and then the center has to be looked after somehow, we will see. But when it came to the spot, we tried to do maximum. Even now Ma has gone again and trying to look after the place and conducting satsang also. These were all not thought about. Suppose we had thought about it earlier, then I don't think we would have been able to plan the visit and the program and all. We had only planned for the program. That too, the program was becoming such a huge program that I am not given to this. I am not geared for all these things. I was thinking that let me simply surrender, and whatever I am asked to do, I will do. Things will look after it by itself. So some people joined who are quite having managerial capacity and all, and they looked after the things. Otherwise, we were thinking 150 people we have to host in Shantiniketan. How can we do it? Because the small Airbnb or homestay are there, some tourist stays there, and this is a time when Shantiniketan would be quite crowded also. So how are we to host the people? In other places we already tried Katwa and other places where it is not really clean or standard. Shantiniketan, during the construction we had to stay quite a few times for a few days. So we saw that here people can stay properly, we can host people, but what about so many people? Now, that would be a little deterring. Now, how it has happened? Even before these things were conceived of, when I was visiting Dakshinkhanda, quite a few times I visited over the last 2 years. At that time, I had gone for Jamshedpur program, and one day after the program, I went to see an old devotee of Swamiji who was ailing. After seeing him, when I was coming away, I found that the Bharat Sevashram Sangha is close by. So we knew their Swamijis and all. So I thought that who is the Mathadipati now, who is the Swamiji, I don't know. Let me just go and have his darshan. So I got down and from the car and went there. Fortunately, he was there. So we started talking, because we had many things, and I belong to Jamshedpur also. We know Bharat Sevashram from our childhood. So we started speaking. During the conversation, I happened to mention about our Dakshinkhanda project, and also our difficulty in conducting the project, because we have to stay in Shantiniketan and travel 2 hours from there to do anything and come back every day, because there is no place to stay in Dakshinkhanda. So he said that we have a center, big center in Bolpur, that is Shantiniketan. From him I got the number of the Mathadipati there in Bolpur, and it was there. Then we forgot almost. But when quite a few months later, there may be 6 months have passed, I am not very good in keeping data and all. So when this problem was that how to host this 150 people, at that time I thought that I am in Shantiniketan, so why not let me go and see the place at least. Maharaj had told that it's a very big place, let me go and see what can be done, how is the place. When we went there, we found that it's a huge center with maybe 220 rooms or so. They can host more than 300 people, 300, maybe more than 600 or 1000 people. It's a huge guest house. They have the school where the tribals are studying, the boarding, where about 280 children are studying. They have the technical education side. It's a huge center. They have a goshala where there are 220 cows. They have all the vegetable, rice, everything is growing in their own farm. It's a self-sufficient institution over there. And the Mathadipati, Swami Sanghamitranandaji is such a good person. It is rare to find out such a humble, good person. So naturally we became quite comfortable, and he was ready to help us. This hosting so many people at the same place, and that too in a place where there is wide field and a temple where regular evening programs are going on. This has been such a great blessing for the... We never knew about it. It just appeared providentially. We only went on moving with it and we tried. When we found that it is there, then we thought that this is a place where everything will be done. And from somewhere, one Lakshmi Vijay, one Suresh Babu and Usha and all those people, and Shoma and all, many devotees came around who could manage the whole thing very well. I did not have to do anything. Right in the beginning, I was getting a little nervous about the huge arrangement necessary in Dakshinkhanda and in Santiniketan, and I said that I will surrender myself completely, that whatever I am told, I will do. If I am not told, I will not do. Let whatever happen, happen. So, I was seeing things falling in place and getting done. I stopped even inquiring about it. Sometimes I do inquire, but not so much worrying about how things are going on, how she is managing or they are managing. It simply went on through the participation of some people. So the function was done, and till then only that inaugural function, dedication function and the Dhanasatra was in our mind, nothing else. Now how it continued from there, now for 11 days I took Kathopanishad, then Ma is taking Bhagavatam now, and it's almost 1 month has passed. Almost not, 1 month has passed. We went there in Shantiniketan on 21st February. Now it is 25th March. It's continuing, our effort there is continuing. Not only that, in Dakshinkhanda we did not know anybody. So what happens, it's very interesting. If we could discuss all the details, then people will understand, but that's not possible. What happened is that something took place in the under construction Poornashram, which was not approved by Swamiji or by us. So the point was taken up. Now one girl who was there at that time in that function, she felt that she was quite responsible for not following our guidance, or did not know that we will not like it. So she came in contact through Ma, saying that I feel very bad that I was responsible for this and all, something like that. But that speaking to Ma, that happened in a manner that both Ma and myself, we fell in love with the girl. Then we started exploring that, involving her, talking to her, because she is originally from Dakshinkhanda, but she is staying in Calcutta. But from Calcutta she can manage well, because Dakshinkhanda everybody is known. We did not know any people in Dakshinkhanda. How the function can be conducted there, how the whole program can be conducted with such a huge program, Dana Satra and all. But through this girl we came to know a new group of young people. Some of them were very, very dedicated, others also joined as volunteers. So the whole program, she might not have done everything. She was conducting from Calcutta, but she put us in link with the right people there. This kind of support you can never expect, except when the providential, you are following the providential flow. It comes through providence only. One after another, here, there, the people who are not really conducive to our ways or would have become a hindrance, they simply got sieved off, and a set of people, young people, old people joined, who are much more congenial to our ways and became the main pillars in the program. These are all, I just look at them with what shall I say, there's no awe. I know that this is the way of providence, but when it happens, we really appreciate, and we try to become more and more egoless, more and more simple, more and more open, more and more transparent, so that the providential way is given its way. Providential laws are allowed to run our life, run whatever we are doing. So even if you ask that what is going to happen next week, we will not be able to say, because we are not planning. We have not planned anything. We are only working from time to time, whatever. But every time we analyze the situation, and whatever strikes to be the right action in our mind, we take that step. That should be free of raga dvesha, free of our preference, prejudice, free of our ego. This is the right step, so it has to be taken. Even we may have sometimes we have a little hindrance in our mind to say that if people will feel like this, they may not like this. Well, we will openly say that we were thinking that if we tell you openly, you will not like or you will feel hurt. Is there anything like that? Then everything gets properly sorted out. So being open, being free, being simple, being humble, that is the best way of doing perhaps everything. That is the way we can follow the providential law in doing anything. So that is how the program went off well, very well, and now things are getting sorted out. We don't know what will happen in future. But whatever has already happened is itself very great. When I analyze the people, their change which is taking place, at least they are saying their mind has changed in this manner. The people joining, people keeping away, and those who kept away, they were coming back sometimes in a different manner, in a different context. Seeing all that, it's a great satisfaction. Not satisfaction, but we feel that the things will change and it has its own value. In all this, we have worked on the great faith in our Guru, in Baba. Because when he was living, one day he told me that, the people in our village are they don't know anything. Because you know that this area is full of Nama Sankirtana, that from Navadvip and around the whole place, they played a very intensive role in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nama Sankirtana movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was one, perhaps, who led the first revolution on the basis of Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Nama Sankirtana. When they were having this Nama Sankirtana from house to house, it was basically his mind was to remove the caste discrimination Bengal was suffering from, the Bengal villages were suffering from at that time. To tremendous caste discrimination. So in his Sankirtana, all castes were invited. There will be Brahmins, there will be the Harijans also. So which the scholarly people there did not like at all. And they were thinking how to stop it. And they collaborated with the Nawab also. Nawab also was not happy that so much of Harinam Sankirtana going on in each in houses and all. So one day the Harinama Sankirtana was going on. At that time somebody came and reported that Nawab has given a fatwa, order that from today onwards Harinama Sankirtana cannot take place in any house. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. They stopped that Sankirtana and asked him to read again. What is the fatwa? You read exactly. So today from this evening, no house, Harinama Sankirtana cannot be held in any house. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, our problem is solved. Let us all go out on the street and do the Harinama Sankirtana. We will not go to hold it in any house. On the street, those who are there, all of you join. And he inspired everybody. So it became a huge procession where all caste, everybody was there. And it is said that they went and they set fire to Nawab's palace also. Nawab ran away from behind. About this there are some conflicts and all, but most probably it is absolutely true. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to run away and he was carrying on under Pratapaditya's rule where the Nawab could not do anything. So this is that movement went from Bengal to Odisha to the beginning part of Andhra Pradesh, from Odisha to Andhra Pradesh border. You will find even now some of the families staying in that part of the Andhra Pradesh and particularly Odisha throughout, that they say that we are actually Bengalis who have come with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's team and got settled here. So they are not actually Odia or actually Andhra. They are all the Mahaprabhu's team. So they are also given to this Sankirtana culture. So this is Dakshinkhanda is a place where lot of Harinama Sankirtana culture is there. And you know that any religious things often will become very biased about their own practice, and also Vaishnavites also became quite rigid. So they would not accept Advaita philosophy or what they thought to be Advaita philosophy. The Brahma Vidya, etc. was not so much regarded. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great scholar in Vedanta also. But he did not preach it. I have told earlier also that Vivekananda mentioned Chaitanya Mahaprabhu led the huge movement and set right the society to some extent, but he made a grave mistake. What is the mistake? He gave to people, he inspired people on the basis of Harinama Sankirtana, but never emphasized the necessity of scripture. That is why they became indisciplined and the movement got dissipated. If he had given the scriptural base there and controlled the movement, had it been there been some niyantrana control, then scriptural control particularly, then it would not have happened like that. This is what Vivekananda had said. And it is perhaps true also. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was a great Vedanta in that way. Now, this area Baba told that they are all given to Harinama Sankirtana, are very staunch Vaishnavite. They don't know anything about Vedanta. So I would like you to, like you means Baba's disciples, to come and do something for the villagers, that they are also enlightened about this truth. That word somehow remained in our mind, and that worked, that if the occasion comes, then we should try to do that. But it has not happened. We had forgotten also for 39 years after Baba left his body, we forgot about it. Then when his place, that the land came into our trust, then only the question came up that now that we have the Poornashram land, Poornashram name was there given by Baba. His ashram was called Poornashram. We have to do something. If it is given to us when we are holding the land, we must try to fulfill Baba's wish that we should have a Brahma Vidya center there and try to do something for the villages around. When we went to the villages, we found that extreme poverty is there all around. So immediately, see, all these things are not planned. When we see it happens. There we went to an orphanage where seeing the children, their condition and all, many of our devotees who came with us, they started crying. We did not know about it. So when we go and see, naturally we feel that they need this help, they need that help. After seeing a few places and all, Swamiji started saying that I think we have to create a special fund for Dakshinkhanda, that corpus fund for Dakshinkhanda to work there. Because the need is so much, the poverty is so much, all around poverty. The Dhanasatra, the people, the kind of people who are coming and taking the dana, you will not be able to imagine, it's nowhere like this. Extremely poor. So all these things, seeing all these things, we have to do this, do that, many things will happen. In between, about 1 year back, we had asked that what is the best service can be done. They said that if an ambulance service is created, many people, particularly pregnant ladies, they are losing their life. We have to go to the hospital quite far. The Katwa hospital is there 20 kilometers away. That is not at all good. So we have to drive quite a lot, 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers. So it becomes fatal sometimes. So we talked to another trust also, and ambulance service was inaugurated in, I think, January 23 or so. No, 1 year back, I think, January 24 or so. So like that, whatever services can be done other than our Brahma Vidya, that also parallelly will be done, because until their material needs are also looked after to some extent, this cannot be done. People first of all understand the material support. We have a good building there. Others are having only mud hut or so, or the buildings unfinished and all. So naturally you have to support their material condition also, otherwise the reputation will not be good. So all these things as they come up, we have to plan and we have to do. Without planning also we have to do. Now this Poornashram, Baba had kept this name because people misunderstand that this spirituality means it is coming away from life. Coming away from life, leaving the world in search of divinity. But it is really not so. As I pointed out repeatedly while teaching Taittiriya Upanishad as well as Kaivalya Upanishad also, I believe, that the Upanishads clearly talk about making our life divine rather than running away from life in search of divinity. Bring divinity to our life and make the life divine. That has been the Upanishadic practice. Now, Purnata, whenever we say Purna, It has various levels of understanding. I have explained it earlier also, particularly in explaining the Shanti Mantra, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. That's the highest level of understanding, but otherwise also, the Purnata means that there is no division, there is no boundary. Say, if you say that this glass is full with water, this is one kind of fullness, but it is only the glass which is filled. Outside is not full. There is a limit to the water in the glass, boundary for it. Even if you think that the world is full, okay, the world is full, but what about you? You are the seer of the world, you are not within the world. So there is a partition. That you are looking at a world which you are saying full in some sense. But the real Purnata will be there when there is no difference between the subject and the object. That is that I in us, that itself becomes Purna, becomes infinite you call it, or full you call, or all embracing you call. There is no all nothing, it is the only one. So that Purnata does not eliminate anything from it. Suppose normally our God is, God has done, all the good people are God's creation, but the criminals are not God's creation. This is not Purnata. Suppose in an accident 5 people die and 15 survive. They say because of God's grace 15 have survived. Then is it not because of God's grace that the 5 have died also? So Purnata means not this kind of a partial vision, where everything is seen not only being done by God, but existing in God also. The whole drama of the world is being played in the consciousness, in God. It is just like a film appearing on the screen, where many things are happening, but there is nothing other than light. Like that in the Chidakasha, the conscious space, the whole world, various things are appearing to be. So only when we have this understanding of this oneness, which alone is, but which is all also, then it becomes Purna. So by Purna, I don't know why somebody was telling me there this time in Dakshinkhanda, that the Purna doesn't mean entertainment and all. And where from the question is coming that it is entertainment? There is no question of entertainment coming in. I don't know why he said like that. The question is not about entertainment or not. The question is to find that one Atma, which is I am referring as I, in everything. There is no second, there is no otherness, there is nobody else. That is the Purnata. As I said during the Rasa Leela, I had explained in one lecture in the Satram. In Rasa Leela, the Gopikas, they got so much identified with Krishna in their mind that they forgot themselves. It was all Krishna. Their mind was full of Krishna. So all were with Krishna. That is why so many Gopikas became, they all had the fortune of having Krishna. Because of that identity, they forgot their own egoistic self. They got completely, they were having Krishna in their mind only. Not in their mind, it's not the right expression. They became Krishna. And that was the joyous moment of Rasa Leela. That Rasa Lila actually means that there. Now what happened after some time, the moment they became conscious and they started feeling proud that, oh, we are so close to Krishna. The moment it happens, they fell. It is described and discussed in Rasa Lila. Immediately they fell, they started suffering. Sufferings from viraha, that Krishna is not there, Krishna is missing, he is nowhere there. How can Krishna be there? When they have thinking of they are all small I, segregated, separated I, and I am closer to Krishna. Another is thinking, I am closer to Krishna. That means all the ego play has come in. They have become small. They are no more Krishna. They are no more identified with Krishna. So the Purnata is like that. The moment you are isolating, that this is where the difference with entertainment is coming in. Here there is no question of entertainment at all. We may sing, we may dance, we may do Nama Sankirtana, everything we may do. But everywhere the purpose is to get merged in the Brahman or in the consciousness. Being more aware of our conscious identity than of the body, than of our limited body-mind personality. The identity must shift from the body-mind personality to our Chidakasa, to our conscious space. Then only the Purnata will come. And then only the Ananda will come. It is not a question of entertainment or joy. It's a question of Ananda. Ananda comes automatically. This I have explained again a few classes back in Taittiriya. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Now there they have taken the Ananta, means infinitude. But the fact is that when our mind really takes to this infinitude, Ananda will be definitely there. Ananda will come of its own. That infinitude will bring in the Ananda. It is not a small joy, it is the joy of Bhumaiva Sukham. Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. Chandogya. That when Bhuma means everything, all encompassing. The Sukha, the real Sukha which we are calling Ananda, it lies in encompassing everything. So, that day I told that generally Shankaracharya has kept away the Ananda part. There are many other Mahavakyas where Ananda is coming in. But because when the mind becomes infinitude, infinite, the Ananda will automatically come. So it is enough if we say Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The Brahmananda will be there in the Anantya of our mind. Whereas if you think that Satyam Jnanam Anandam, that Ananda, if it is there from the beginning, what will the sadhak do? They will think that the Ananda is kind of a sukha or entertainment which we generally find in the world. So they will run after that Ananda and they will miss the real Ananda and Anantya also. As long as I am running after some sukha, means it's a small sukha and I am different from it. So it can never give us the joy of oneness. But when we automatically become one with everything, then the joy comes on its own. So that is where lies the Purnata, and Poornashram is meant for that fullness where we don't run away from life to discover divinity or to gain divinity, but we make our life, every moment of our life, divine. That is Poornashram. While I think Swamiji has already read out in his Sangha that he wrote 10 shlokas before the program. shlokas on Baba and on his abode, Poornashram. And this was given as prasada at the end of the inaugural function. These were all hurriedly produced. In 2-3 days, this was produced. More than a week or so, a Bengali book was published. All hurriedly done, but they have come out well, I think. That also was given to each family over there, not as prasada, not on that day, but later on. They were all Bengalis only. The meaning of Poornashram, Baba himself explained. I think right in the beginning, after I got initiation, after that, he had a writing pad. They had the name, letterhead, in which the Poornashram name was there. So naturally I had asked, or maybe on his own, he had explained that why Purna, because people otherwise think that spirituality is away from life and it is not to be practiced when we are young or we are pursuing something, some profession or so. But in fact, it makes us most efficient. Whatever we do otherwise in 8 hours, if we meditate for 1 hour properly, then we will find that we can finish 8 hours job at maybe 4 hours or 5 hours. I thought of just chanting these shlokas. Maybe Ma has already done, Swamiji has already done, doesn't matter, let me also do. Gangadharam, this name is Sadguru Dashakams, Gurupada Samarpanam. Gangadharam Paramahamsa Vedyam Dayasamudram Pranatosmi Nityam Sambhranta Chittam Samupashritam Mam Samadhishadya Paramatma Tattvam Poornashramam Yasya Tapo Nidhanam Jijñāsu Vrindasya Sada Sharanyam Kshemaya Sarvasya Cha Moksha Siddhyai Natavayam Tam Gurumeka Bhaktya Navikritam hi adya samarpitam te Kritajñata par purvamidam sudhama Navikritam hi adya samarpitam te Kritajñata purvamidam sudhama Ayantu jijñāsava vishvatotra Swatma Pradeepa Jvalanaya Samyak Sarvo Gururvai Guruvakyameva Varishta Sheshyan Nayatiti Siddham Atas Sada Tvadhita Puranartham Netum Kilagre Hridino Viraja Bhavatvidam Dhama Tapah Pradhanam Tava Smritirhyatra Vased Bhrisham Vai Tvad-vakya nirdesha mahaprabhavat sarvani karyani shubhani santu Shastrochitam sajjanapathya marge sallakshya mulyanugunena nityam vivekapurvam prabhicharya samyak vadantu kurvantu iha sarva bhaktaah Swatmaiva sarvatra susadhaniyah prabhasate sauhridi sarvatha vai nivritya drishtim praviliya chittam swantar mahimnaiva nimajjayet svam vichara vegattu manasvayam hi nimajjati swatma vinishchalatve Poornashramam prapya vicharya cheto linatyaho swatma sudha samudre gataklama shanta vikalpa chittaha nissamshaya Nishchala buddhyascha gataklama shanta vikalpa chittaha nissamshaya nishchala buddhyascha swatma sthita purna vibodha deeptyam plavantu majjantu muhurmuhurvai Plavantu majjantu muhurmuhurvai Jijñāsavas santatamantareva Manassamadhātu ananya bhavat Punah punarmajjana tibra citta Bhavantu santu sthira buddhayosmin Bhavantu santu sthira buddhayosmin. I will just read out the meaning all. I prostrate constantly before Sri Gangadhara Paramahamsa Dev, who can be known only through the tenets of Paramahamsa, who is an embodiment of compassion, who imparted the truth of the Supreme Self to me when I sought refuge under him with agitated mind. Poornashram is the abode of his austerity, which is always a refuge for seekers and inquirers. Seeking the welfare and liberation of all, we prostrate before him with supreme and exclusive devotion. With gratefulness, today we dedicate this renovated holy abode to you. May seekers and inquirers from all over the world come here to light well the lamp of their own inmost self. Guru is everything and all indeed. It is well known that Guru's word alone leads devout disciples to fulfillment. Therefore, in order to fulfill your own wish, dwell you indeed in our heart to lead us forward. May austerity have the supreme place in this abode, where your memory will reign most. May all activities conducted here be auspicious, inspired by the greatness of your words of wisdom. Let all devotees coming here speak and act with discrimination, in tune with the purport of Shastras, following the path dear to great souls, adhering equally to great values and goals. One's own self shines well everywhere in the heart by every means, realizing that is the easily attainable goal. Hence, turn your gaze inward. Dissolve the mind and dip yourself in your own inner glory and grandeur. By the fervor of truthful introspection alone, the mind naturally dissolves in profound stillness of one's own inmost self. Reaching Poornashram and ruminating well, the mind dissolves by itself in the ocean of elixir of one's own self. Rid of all fatigue, the mind with its doubts and indecisions, quietened, having attained the stillness of intelligence too. Those who come here, let them remain afloat and dip again and again in the effulgence of complete enlightenment which reigns in their own self. May inquirers and seekers always strive to discipline their mind with exclusive devotion. May they, with the mind imbued with the fervor, dip inwardly again and again. Let their intelligence be steadfast in this resolve. We actually have tried to keep the Baba's room, which was there in the original mud house. Originally it was a mud house, double-storied. So we used to go from the road, then climb a creaking wooden staircase and enter Baba's room there. Here also the corridors on both the sides and Baba's room particularly, we tried to keep it as it was in the mud house. Although it is new, everything is different. That is the main shrine or Garbhagriha for our Poornashram. There, as we enter, on the left, Baba used to lie on his Royal Bengal tiger, which was 8 feet, 9 feet long skin, Royal Bengal tiger skin, which Swamiji had brought for him from Assam. One Maharani of Assam had gifted to Swamiji. That was his asan. He used to stay there throughout the day and night. He would be there. The courtyard was there in between, and after the courtyard was another double-storied mud house where only kitchen, dining area and some storerooms were there. That also looks somewhat similarly. We tried to make it. That is now hosting our general Annakshetra kitchen, and below that is where our dining space was there. That is now the Satsang area. Only the difference we have made is these two buildings we have linked with a flat roof, 2-storied rooms. There are 6 rooms, 3 for 3 sannyasins and 3 for the renunciates and some other devotees also, whatever is necessary there. The main structure, on Baba's room, which is our sanctum sanctorum over there, we tried to make a completely new design. Again, we would say it is providential. That when we look at our parampara, we can say it is a mixture of Bengal and Kerala. Kerala is the Acharya area where Shankaracharya was born, close to this place in Kaladi. And Bengal, it is famous for Shakti Pithas generally, but Also many Shiva worship and saintly Vedantic, as well as Sankhya philosophy also. So the roof initially wanted to create the same roof, that is the hay thatched. It was the mud house with hay thatching. The hay thatching had to be redone every 10 years or so. We won't be able to maintain, so we were looking for some artificial hay or so which we can recreate the same thing. But it was not available, so we finally thought that we will make it with tiles, clay tiles. But we did not want exactly the roof which we have here. I don't know from where it came. We wanted to have one day suddenly in Shantiniketan, when the building was under construction, one temple architect had come. No, but we inquired about a temple architect. Why did I do it? I don't remember now. Anyway, it came to the mind, and one temple architect had come, and discussing with him, we said that if we do a fusion of Bengal and Kerala roof structure, it will be nice, it will represent our parampara. So the roof structure now is partly on two sides, it is the Kerala roof structure of clay tiles, and the central portion is the Vishnupur temple structure going up with Abhimana. So those who have seen the photographs, they can see. So that portion particularly, and the whole building also, we wanted the clay finish to be given. Instead of that, because this Vishnupur architect had come, he suggested that small bricks can be used to give it an antique look, which is used for the Vishnupur temples. They are all made of small bricks. So although we have used concrete and cement and all, the main structure is sturdy with proper concrete and all, but the outside it is covered with all small bricks and clay tiles and various kinds of Vishnupur designs with a small double-storied step there. Anyway, all these also, that we did not think of this, it has finally happened, and there the person who arrived, the temple architect of Shantiniketan who arrived, he had a role to play. We accepted that, we have also helped in doing it. It has come up like that. Let us see what happens. Baba was very much given to meditation and silence and austerity. So Swamiji wants everybody should follow that over there. There should not be any violation of that for which it has been made. The shrine itself, where Baba's photo and at the center, and on one side Swamiji's photo and the other side Kshitish Chandra Dev and Swami Narayana Tirtha's photographs, they are kept. That shrine again, we were thinking of what should be the design, what should we do, etc. So one Swamiji's devotee, Indira and Jitendra, their daughter Ashita is there in Bangalore, who is given to internal decoration and all. We thought of taking her advice. But when we discussed with her, finally she said that if you want, we can make it and send it. So finally that also happened. They made it and send it over there. I think some changes are yet to be made. That will arrive this week and we will do it. The people are going already there. They do their prostration there. Some sit there and meditate. That also we have seen. But they are not supposed to talk in that room. And satsang is regularly so far taking place in the satsang area below. But that place is very much infested with langurs, Hanuman, that black-faced Hanuman, long tails. So they come in and destroy everything. So the openness we wanted everywhere, that is not possible. Now we are putting big windows or opening glass and all, which we did not want to put, but the providence sent some Hanuman to change our style. So we accepted that also. Okay. Jai Guru.